Welcome to the deep dive. It feels like every single day there's something new with AI, how it's changing things.
It really does. Constantly evolving.
And especially for young people, right? Starting out, figuring out productivity, workflows, these tools are becoming, well, kind of essential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there are just so many of them now. It's a lot to sift through.
Exactly. It can feel totally overwhelming. Like, where do you even begin?
That's really the core challenge, isn't it? It's not just knowing these tools exist, but figuring out which ones actually streamline things, boost productivity for, this generation.
Without just adding more digital clutter.
Right. You want tools that genuinely help, not just another app to manage.
Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We've really dug into it, looked at YouTube demos,
Yeah,
walkthroughs.
videos showing the tools in action.
Here.
And articles, too, ranking the top AI productivity apps predicted for 2025.
So our mission, basically, is to cut through some of that hype. We want to explore a curated selection, tools that seem to offer real, tangible benefits for young people, students, early career folks.
And what's really striking, looking across all this material, is just how integrated AI is becoming. It's not just one type of task anymore.
No, it's everywhere. Learning, organizing, how we communicate, even creating stuff.
Definitely. Okay, so where should we start?
Let's dive in with real-time assistance. That seems like a big one, especially if you're tackling something new or, a bit technical. Google AI Studio kept popping up.
Ah, yes, Google AI Studio.
Yeah.
What's interesting there isn't just the step-by-step help. It's how it shifts things.
Shifts things how?
Well, instead of just passively watching a tutorial later, you get active problem-solving support while you're doing the task, right there in the moment.
Okay, yeah. So you don't get stuck and then have to go searching for answers.
Exactly. Think about getting tripped up in some software, trying to figure out a function. Instead of hours on help forums, the AI is right there guiding you.
Right, like in that website learners video example, they were trying to split a column in Google Sheets.
And apply conditional formatting.
Yeah, and you could almost see the AI pointing,
Yeah.
explaining each click. It's like having a patient tutor looking over your shoulder.
Precisely. And that has huge potential for learning new software, too, as some
Yeah.
other sources highlighted. Think about something complex like Adobe Premiere.
Oh, wow. So you could be editing and just ask, how do I do this specific transition?
And the AI could walk you through it right there in the program. That
Right.
could seriously speed up learning new skills much faster than, say, traditional online courses alone.
Okay, that's powerful. Now, shifting gears a bit, meetings, always a challenge, right? Especially with remote work and everything.
Yeah. Media overload is real.
So several AI tools are tackling this. Granola came up, it records meetings in the background and lets you edit notes offline.
That offline editing feature in Granola is kind of neat, especially if your connection is shaky.
Yeah, definitely useful.
But then you look at tools like Otter.ai and Fireflies.ai. They seem to offer a more complete package for managing meetings.
Right, they do the transcription, which is huge, saves so much time.
Massive time saver. But they also do automated summaries, keyword tracking. Think about that.
Oh man, the idea of not having to furiously type notes during a meeting, that alone is a win.
Totally. Frees you up to actually participate.
And searching for keywords later, like you remember someone mentioned a deadline but not when, that saves so much digging through recordings or notes.
Exactly. And they plug right into Zoom, Google Meet, Teams, whatever. So the AI assistant just joins the meeting, takes the notes, lets you focus.
That's brilliant.
And Fireflies.ai apparently has even more advanced stuff, like analyzing sales calls. That could be super valuable for young professionals just starting in sales or client work.
Okay, interesting. Now let's talk about something that feels even more futuristic. Automation.
Yeah. Making things happen automatically.
Relay was mentioned. It's automation software, but with AI handling smaller actions, like summarizing a document or firing off an email.
Yeah, Relay is a good example of what people are starting to call AI agents. Little bits of software that can do specific tasks, more or less on their own.
Like AI agents. Okay.
And when you connect something like Relay to a bigger platform, like Zapier, which came up a lot across the source.
Zapier, right. The one that connects different apps together.
Exactly. That's where the potential for streamlining workflows gets really powerful.
Okay, hang on. So Relay could handle a micro task like summarizing that customer review. And then Zapier could take that summary, automatically put it in a spreadsheet, and maybe even trigger an email back to the customer.
That's precisely the kind of workflow you can build.
Mm.
Zapier acts like the central hub, letting all your different apps talk to each other and kick off actions.
Wow, that could just erase so much repetitive clicking and copying.
It really can. Frees up mental energy for the stuff that actually requires human thought.
Definitely. Okay, what about research? For students, or really anyone trying to learn something new, wading through information is tough.
Oh yeah, information overload is a huge barrier.
So tools for research and knowledge consolidation seem like they could be real game changers. Google NotebookLM looked really interesting, a personalized AI research assistant.
Yeah, NotebookLM is quite compelling. What makes it stand out is that it works directly with your stuff, PDFs you upload, websites you save, even YouTube videos.
Your own curated sources.
Right. You feed it your materials, and then you can ask it to summarize them, answer specific questions, and it shows you where it got the answer, the citation.
Ah, the citations are key.
Crucial. And it can generate study guides from your notes, or even turn your notes into a little audio summary, like a mini podcast.
Whoa, generate a podcast from notes. That's wild.
Yeah.
And audio summaries for reviewing on the go. That's really smart.
And they mentioned a new interactive mode, too. It sounds like it makes querying your materials even more dynamic.
Okay, that sounds incredibly useful for studying or big projects. Then there was Google Gemini Deep Research. That sounded bigger, more powerful.
Yeah, Gemini Deep Research is described as an agentic model.
Mhm.
That means it doesn't just answer one question. It can sort of plan and carry out a whole research task on its own.
Okay, like how?
Well, the example given was researching PRP injections for shoulder issues. Instead of just finding one article, the AI went out, gathered info, and produced a detailed report.
A whole report.
Yeah, summaries of findings, potential risks, clinical evidence, even comparing it to other treatments. It's like having a super fast, diligent research assistant. It does require Gemini Advanced, though, so it's a paid feature.
Right. Still, that's pretty amazing capability, almost like having a research team on demand.
It's heading that way. We also saw Perplexity mentioned quite a bit.
Perplexity, yeah, the fast answer engine.
Right, and the key thing there is it gives you the source links. So important for checking validity.
Definitely. And Humata. That was described as like ChatGPT, but just for your PDFs.
Exactly. Really useful for digging into dense documents quickly.
Yeah.
Summarizing, comparing different sections, searching within them, again, with citations.
That seems invaluable for anyone dealing with lots of reports or academic papers.
For sure. Saves hours of reading time, helps you find the key takeaways fast.
Okay, let's shift to the creative side. Content creation, design. AI is moving incredibly fast here, too. Gamma came up a lot.
Gamma, yeah. Generating presentations, documents, even websites from just a text prompt.
It really lowers the barrier, doesn't it? You don't need to be a design whiz to make something look good quickly.
Exactly. Big productivity boost for students or young pros needing to share ideas effectively. Less time fiddling with slide layouts.
And then there was Bolt AI, creating actual web applications from prompts without coding.
Yeah, that was pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah,
The example was building a background removal tool just by describing it.
that's wow. Okay. And Gravity Write, that sounded like an all-in-one shop.
Kinda, yeah. AI images for thumbnails, blog writing help, even building websites. Trying to cover a lot of content needs in one place.
Streamlining that whole creative workflow.
That seems to be the goal. Democratizing creation, making tools accessible. We also saw Napkin AI for graphics from text. And of course, the big players like Canva and Midjourney are constantly adding more AI features too.
Right, Canva for general design, Midjourney for those really high-end AI images,
They're still hugely relevant.
and even for coding and UI design. AI is making inroads there too. Cursor was mentioned.
Cursor, an AI coding assistant, helps build and deploy apps from prompts.
And Wizard! That sounded cool, creating UI mock-ups from text or even sketches.
Yeah, a wizard can take a description, screenshot, even a hand-drawn sketch, and generate UI mockups or wireframes.
That's amazing.
And it integrates with Cursor, so you can design the UI with Wizard, and then basically hand off the code generation to Cursor. A pretty seamless workflow, potentially.
Accelerating that whole development process.
Drastically. And potentially making it more accessible, too.
Okay, let's talk time management. The eternal struggle.
Right, please.
Yeah.
Never enough hours in the day.
Reclaim AI was highlighted, using AI to manage your calendar and prioritize tasks.
Yeah, the key thing with Reclaim seems to be its focus on your priorities.
Right.
It doesn't just cram your calendar full. It tries to schedule things intelligently based on what you've marked as important.
Ah, okay, so it helps protect time for deep work, maybe?
That's the idea. Balancing meetings, tasks, and focus time. Then there's Motion, another big one in this space.
Motion, right. What's its angle?
It integrates calendar, project management, and task lists. And it does auto-scheduling. But it tried to be smart about it. looking at your deadlines, priorities, and your existing calendar events.
So it won't schedule a task right when you have a meeting already booked.
Exactly. It tries to build a realistic, achievable schedule for you, and it has team features too.
That sounds incredibly useful for actually sticking to a plan. And Notion keeps adding AI features too, right? Within its whole info hub structure.
Yeah, Notion's AI is becoming more integrated for summarizing notes, drafting content, brainstorming. Lots of little boosts within the platform you might already be using.
And even ChatGPT now has scheduled tasks for running prompts automatically.
You can have it, say, summarize news articles on a specific topic every morning automatically. Little automations like that.
These tools really aim to take the mental load off planning and scheduling.
That's the goal. Less time figuring out when to do things, more time actually doing them. Reducing that decision fatigue.
Makes sense. And finally, we even saw AI impacting how we learn, with platforms like Futurepedia partnering with Skill Leap AI for AI-driven courses.
Yeah, it's touching everything. AI in learning platforms could mean more personalized pathways, adapting to how you learn best.
It really feels like AI is just weaving itself into the fabric of daily life and work.
It absolutely is.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, wow, it's clear there's this incredible diverse range of AI tools popping up.
Definitely. And they have real potential to transform productivity, workflows, especially for young people starting out.
They offer these shortcuts to efficiency, right? Learning, research, communication, creating stuff.
Huge potential for shortcuts, yeah, across so many different areas. But, and this is the crucial point, I think, it's about balance. We need to be thoughtful about how we adopt these tools. Meaning, we should see them as assistants, as tools to augment our own abilities, not as replacements for developing those core human skills.
Right. Don't let the AI do all the thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Critical thinking, creativity, genuine problem solving,
Yeah.
those are still vital. Over-reliance is a real risk we need to be mindful of.
That's a really important takeaway. We saw some sources mentioning potential downsides too, right? Like AI maybe stifling creativity if you rely on it too much, or concerns about accuracy sometimes.
Yeah, concerns about transcription accuracy, AI-generated content occasionally being off, privacy considerations with some tools. These are real issues to weigh. It's not all seamless perfection yet.
So it's about using them strategically.
Right.
As tools, not crutches.
Precisely. Augment, don't replace.
Okay, that's a vital perspective. So maybe a final thought to leave folks with. As AI keeps advancing so rapidly, how will this next generation find that sweet spot? You know, leveraging these incredibly powerful tools, but also making sure they're cultivating their own unique human intelligence and skills.
That is the big question, isn't it? Finding that balance between the artificial and the intrinsically human, it's something we'll all need to keep thinking about, keep exploring.
Definitely something to mull over. Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.